Yeah, well, Fabi gave me a call about a week ago. Told me he had some project in mind. Wanted to go up the Commander out at El Cajon Mountain. And I first saw this rock climb 2 years ago when I was down here climbing with Fabi. He showed me this old Randy Levitt line, told me it was pretty hard, and he said he wanted to check it out, and he had to come on down.
We hiked up there in the morning and it was raining. We couldn't really see the rock, and I was always like, oh, there's this big rock face there, you can't see it. And so then we got it to our bivvy and we just hung out for a little bit because it was still wet. And we were just getting into the vibe. Mike and I started stretching out, you know, feeling the rock and everything, and then all of a sudden, like, the clouds were just breaking down, and slowly the rock face reveals, and you just see this mighty piece of rock up there, and that was pretty amazing. So the Commander is kind of a route that was put up in progress throughout many years.
To me, it's kind of like the naked edge of Southern California. You know, you've got these two aspects and they converge onto this center point, like a big pyramid. And that center point is tipped back, you know, it's overhung quite a few degrees. And so when you're on that point, you know, you're on the apex of the wall, and below you is just nothing but exposure. And there's wind coming up, and there's birds flying below you. And it's for real, man. And it's great because those holds finally get big up top, and so you get some bigger holds on steeper wall. And the rock's really high quality at that point. It's really fun, dude.
Yeah, the first pitch is kind of intense. So the way how I climb the first pitch is a little tough because I have to go into this long reach where I reach out with my right hand. And it's a decent hold, but once you get your second hand up on the horizontal rail, because that's where I went, then you kind of like with no feet and you're just campusing on it, and it's just hard. You crank it off and you cross move over, and you just kind of follow the rail until you get a really nice left foot first, and that kind of gives you a little, you know, nice moment to like, now I can finally clip that bolt. So there was pretty much two parties. One party was eager to develop the climbing routes there in more of a traditional way, to kind of seek out natural lines, use natural protection. And then the other party pretty much was into like bolting, rappel bolting.
Well, I think climbing's dead. You know, it actually died pretty recently. And, you know, so all those ethics are out the window.
They actually sat together and they were like saying, okay, cool, you have this opinion, I have this opinion. Let's divide the rock face into two parts. And you develop the right side of the crack and we develop the left side of the crack. However, by the end, after there was so much establishment on the left-hand side, the one guy who was more defending the old school way to establish routes, he came at night and in a period of several nights and days, he came and hammered down all the bolts, or a lot of the bolts at least, on the left side. So that when I came out there in 2008, for example, I really ran into a lot of bolts that were just hammered down. And
honestly, I think we should have the ability to do whatever we want and to like seek our own artistic venue. I mean, I think ethics play into it, but we all have to have our own ethics on what we think is appropriate. You know, I don't think hammering down the hangers really benefits anybody in the end.
Luckily today it changed because a lot of climbers in San Diego thankfully came out and replaced a bunch of the bolts.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring a compressor-driven, you know, like power washer up there and clean it off. The problem with El Cajon Mountain is it's covered in bird shit. You know, we're gonna rename it Bird Food Buttress. Because like most of the handholds,
it's not that
Bird
bad.
Food Buttress. Yeah,
it's not that bad.
It's heinous up there, dude.
He's germophobic.
You want to climb in like a face mask and a hazmat suit because there's like bird shit in your eyes the whole time. It's fucking
El Cajon is the shit.
Second pitch was excellent. You know, lots of really nice thin crimping. El Cajon's amazing because of all these like tiny little sculpted, super hard crimps. So you can pull really hard on super small edges, and that's just a really fun pitch. really good. Nothing like too weird or outstanding, but just a great little section of crimping, you know.
Any words of wisdom about the commander?
Randy Levitt is the commander.
If you're the commander, what would you do, dude?
If I was the commander? Power wash this whole crag. Get all bird shit off it.
It could be like Saratoria.
Exactly. I would be the guy with the, you know, compressor-driven power washer.
Yeah, pitch 3, also a really short pitch. Maybe also has 5 bolts or 6 bolts. Yeah, you climb off the ledge and then it just gets steep right away, and it's like slightly overhanging pitch, so you're like, whoa, this looks really crazy because you don't really even see features on it that much. And then you're on it and you just realize, damn, those are really the tiniest crimpers ever. And it's just overhanging and you just gotta punch through. And if you don't punch through, you probably get pumped and you take a fall. Yeah, I took a fall. Just kind of desperately crimping off some small stuff, and my feet weren't placed right, and so I just popped off. I was really motivated to right away go back on it, and you know, then I just did it. So the line of the commander is pretty demanding because you have to
commanding.
Or commanding, demanding. And 5 pitches in total. 3 of them are 5'11". One of them is a nice 10B, and then the other one is 12A. So we got 4 pitches, 11 or harder.
Pitch 4 is really nice, just really mellow, just cruising on small crimpers, small in-cut mini jugs on 2 steep walls, 2 like tiers. Just fun, you know, you're up really high at that point, the wind's starting to blow. Really secure climbing, but thin at the same time. And leading right up to the command center, which is this awesome ledge right before the head wall. I hear Randy just hangs out up there and talks to the birds. Well, I heard that John Sherman was really into climbing at that route at one point, and he brought a sheep up into the command center, 2 of them actually. And you know, he and those 2 sheep spent a night up on the command center, and well, you can only imagine what happened. I met him once in the Needles. He's a pretty visionary dude. He's got a thing for sheep.
Well, I just got up here, pitch number 4 on the commander at Oklahoma Mountain. So the whole route is 5 pitches, so gonna do the last one very soon. Yeah, it's gonna be the business. 12A pitch after 5'11" pitches and this beautiful 10B pitch that I just got up here. Yeah, feel a little spent. Definitely hotter temps today. You can feel it in your fingers on the rock. Yeah, but I'm psyched because I want to send it. This is just you know, the crown. You get up in this command center, right, and then you just look up and it's overhanging and it's steep and it's just out there. And that's the cool thing, because you are in San Diego, you're hanging up 400 feet up the cliff, and it's overhanging, and it's great because it's secure. You have bolts, you know, and yeah, that pitch is the best pitch, yeah, and maybe even one of the better ones, definitely on the whole mountain. Yeah. When you start off, the first 2 or 3 moves are just fine. You got a lot of jugs, but then it gets right into business. It gets steep. You have to pull on some sight pulls, clip some bolts. The distance between the bolts is a little more space than the other pitches, I would say. You do a couple punchy moves on the bottom, and then you get to this nice rest. So there's a bolt right there, so you all save, and you know now you got to crank up. So for me is I go right hand up into this crimper small thing, and then I go left to a jug, yeah? And that's great. From there on, you can clip your next bolt, which feels really secure. So you clip it, and then really the crux is to go over to the right again. So there's this like side pull rail that I go with my right first, and I really have to lean in, like get myself into a lie back position, and just like, crank him off, get my left hand to it to get up higher to a better hold. And that's kind of a hard move. So once you're there, you're not quite done, because the climbing gets easier, but it's not done yet. You're still like in a maybe 11 minus area for a little while, and you're just pumped, you're shaking there. You get some good feed though, so you shake out a couple times, and then you just slowly crank it up to the top. Mike loves the adventure. He is always planning new trips, and you know, so I love it too. So great time to come out here.
Doing a first ascent on a big wall, it seems like the best idea of adventure.
Yeah, well, I'm going down to El Gran Charno Blanco for the first time in a couple weeks. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to what that experience might have. And if it's anything like El Cajon Mountain, then, you know, we're in for a real treat.
Where the fuck are we now, dude?
Now we're pitching that, Dan.